Welcome to part 5. I spent the last couple of weeks talking about the different information that I use when I work with clients and athletes on how I figure out what I'm going to do with them. And it leads up to this last thing, which is addressing the purpose with all the factors involved. Those factors being how many days of recovery they have, the types of massage, the athlete's training state, the program schedule, etc. And I get very frustrated when I talk about this. And I'm going to try to not stand on a soapbox when I talk about it so that I don't come across like a dick. But it really bothers me because I care about the athletes with whom I work. And that care involves understanding how I'm taking care of them. It involves all of these things being taken into consideration because I want to see them get better. They're trusting me by coming to me with their time and money to provide a service that is going to help them achieve their goals. And the best way that I know how to do that is by this information here. It starts with the first question: what are you trying to address and enhance? And I use that word specifically, enhance, because I feel, and I've said this in other contexts, that massage therapists and soft tissue work in general acts as a catalyst. It enhances the body's own natural recovery process. It increases the efficiency of recovery. However, in order for that to happen, it has to be done in the right way, to the right intensity, on the right day, in conjunction with all of the information about the athlete's training state and their program schedule. That's Sports Massage 101. The next part, what does your choice do? That's basic soft tissue competency. If you can't answer what scraping, IASTM, Graston, whatever you want to call it, if you can't answer what that does, cupping does, trigger point, deep tissue, neuromuscular work, you have no business doing it. Because if you can't answer what it does, how do you know when to do it? And if you don't know when to do it, you're blindly throwing darts at a board hoping that it helps. At no point in time should I be working with an athlete within 24 to 48 hours of them coming out of a heavy training session and say, we're going to do deep tissue work. And if you hear that and you don't understand why, I hope you have an open mind to what I'm about to say. They are in a pro-inflammatory state. They've just done muscle damage. It's the entire concept behind rebuilding tissue so that it gets stronger. That's strength and conditioning. That pro-inflammatory state lasts up to 72 hours. If I do deep tissue work on them at the wrong time, I'm increasing the amount of inflammation that's happening, which means I'm increasing the overall time it's going to take for them to recover, to come back to baseline, to be ready for training. And if they don't know that, I don't know that, and they go back out there and train on their regular schedule without me giving them the proper information, there's a good chance that they're going to get hurt. That's not doing my job. If someone comes to me within a certain period of time, let's say, again, say 24 to 48 hours after training, and they say, hey, I feel really tight in this area, and I do scraping on them, that's useless. But I can't know that unless I've done enough research and studying to know what scraping actually does and why it helps. As practitioners, we watch people on Instagram and social media all the time buying tools or using tools in the wrong way, and we can scoff at it and say, that's not going to do anything. But we need to be able to look back on ourselves and have the same criticism. I've gotten things wrong. I've done things incorrectly. And when the client or athlete doesn't get better, I've had to take that bitter pill and say, what am I doing wrong? How do I fix it? And the best way to fix it is to be able to answer that second one, what does your choice actually do? You have to pick the right form of soft tissue work, and the only way to do that is to understand what it does and then to understand where is that athlete, then to understand how aggressively or intensely can I do that with them so I can achieve that purpose, and then know how do I incorporate that into the program schedule, and then be able to communicate to them how should they adjust if they need to. This is the fundamental work of working with athletes. If someone comes to you and the only thing that you ever do with them is sit there and shove needles into them, put a handful of cups on them, do some scraping, dig an elbow into them, you don't take into consideration where are they in their training, both on the micro level and on the overall macro, you're not doing your job. Athletes and clients deserve better. Rant over. I'll come down off my soapbox.